Zacks Rank Buys, stocks with a short-term buy or strong buy recommendation. Now, here are more Zacks Rank Buys. Well, we've got a couple of storage companies topping this week's Momentum Stock Pick list. Jared Levy, our Momentum Stock Strategist here at Zacks.com, with us once again to give us the full details. Now, these are two different types of storage companies.
When you said that, I'm in my head thinking, wait, oh wait, he's right. Yes, that's correct.
The first one,
Very
Extra
different.
Space Storage, EXR, the ticker symbol, is a real estate property company, right? A REIT.
It is a REIT, and what's funny about this company is it's not something that people typically view as sexy, right? When you think sort of momentum, you think strength, you're not thinking a storage company, but when you look at the story a little bit, it makes sense. So Extra Space Storage is the company, EXR is the ticker. They're trading, it's a REIT, so they throw off a high level of dividends typically. They throw off a large amount of profits to investors. That's a benefit, but believe it or not, you're also getting a lot of capital appreciation in this company. It's been rallying huge, and the reason for that is, well, think about it, the housing market, right? So the housing market, as we all know, has been pretty choppy. Home prices are still dropping. People are still in fear of losing their homes, and they are losing their homes, or they're downsizing. When you downsize from a large house, let's say a 3,000 square foot house, into a 1,500 square foot apartment, you've got a lot of stuff left over, and that's where the Extra Space Storage comes in. Looking at sort of the bottoms-up approach, the fundamental story is there. I don't see the housing market taking off anytime soon. Perhaps we'll get some stabilization this year, but I think there's plenty of room for Extra Space to run. It is trading at 58 times earnings. Right now, that's trailing. They've got earnings coming up. We're looking for that number to come back down to 20, which makes it a little bit more of a realistic or valuable sort of an issue. The other thing I wanted to note is that we are seeing a lot of analysts, several of them, moving their estimates higher going into the next report. And that's a good thing for a company, obviously. When you've got analysts ahead of the report putting confidence, especially when the market is rallying like it is, that makes me feel good. They report earnings on February 21st, just to note there. And again, from a technical standpoint, the stock looks very, very strong. One thing I want to point out, this is really important. This is sort of what drives home the issue. If you look at this slide behind me, rent trends. And these are asking rent prices, increases year over year. We are at all-time highs in rents, and you can see the V. And the effective rents, what's interesting, are actually higher than the asks. It's wild. People are, that's the place to go. They're renting, and when they're renting, they're having to subsidize some of their storage facilities or needs using
Storage facilities.
Yeah.
These are apartment rents you're talking about?
These are apartment rents. These are residential apartment rents across the U.S.
Okay, not storage space rents.
And that not storage space rents,
Just
correct.
to clarify for viewers.
Correct.
Okay. The next company is Rackspace Hosting Incorporated, RAX the ticker. Now this is a cloud computing company.
Right.
So it's a data storage company.
Right. A little different, but again, there's a big need there.
Yeah.
Rackspace is one of the companies that was it was a big momentum company for a while. It sort of trailed off, and again, it's picking up a lot of steam. What's interesting about Rackspace is for a while there, people thought it was getting a little overheated. They sold it off. But when you look at it, and as you see how much data we're adding, and the Facebook IPO sort of brings all this to light, because Facebook, I mean, they've got banks of thousands and thousands of servers. In fact, if you think about it like this, back in 2010, Eric Schmidt said this, and I'll show you the quote in the next slide. He said that every, I think it was 3 days, we add more information to the internet, or upload more information than we did from the beginning of civilization until 2003. That's a pretty profound statement. Every 2 days. So
we didn't have the internet in the beginning.
We didn't have the internet, but that's the thing. But he's talking about creating information. There needs to be a place for that information. And believe it or not, another statistic you want to pay attention to is the fact that since 2007, the bulk of tech mergers, and I believe this was Forbes that found this story, the bulk of tech mergers have, and the most profitable ones, have been surrounding what's called big data. Big data is the storage of the cloud, right? Everything's going on the cloud. Apple, all of your information, we're in a wireless world, we need storage for that. Rackspace supplies that. Okay, so Rackspace, again, trading at 92 times trailing earnings, a little hefty. We're looking for that to drop down to 54 when they report. They're going to be reporting here shortly on the 13th of February, so we are getting close to that earnings report. Keep that in mind, and also note that Racks, while it's momentum right now, it's probably going to continue, but I would be really careful going into that earnings report. There's big expectations. The good news is, again, we're seeing all of the consensus estimates higher than they were 90 days ago. So all of the analysts moving higher going into that report.
Leave it to me to find those little buggy comments about
That's
stuff.
okay.
Huh? Do you own either of these two?
I do not own them personally, no.
Okay. We have other stock pick ideas up for your consideration, and they're on our homepage at zacks.com. At least that's where you can link to them from. So if you're not there already watching this video, go to zacks.com and look at the 4 new stock pick ideas that we put up there for you each investing day. With Jared, I'm Terry Ruffalo.